The first thing you're going to see when you talk with a Muslim and you start going back to Scripture, you're going to see immediately they're going to confront this book. They have to. Because all of their pundits, all of the narrative that they're getting in the madrasas and in their mosques is against this book. And they're saying that this book has been corrupted. Now, what you need to do, and very quickly, is just to ask them two quick words, where and when. Just throw it right back at them. This is the Schaefferian method, and I love Francis Schaeffer. He says, always just back them up, just back them up. So throw it right back in their lap. So ask your Muslim friend, where and when was this book corrupted? Because this is what they're being taught in their mosques. They won't have an idea. They've never been told that. They've just been saying, they've been told it's been corrupted. They have no idea. So help them out. Say, was it corrupted before the 7th century, before the Quran, before Muhammad, or after? They'll say before. So say, okay, show me one scripture, one reference in this book that allows you to say that. So now you've gone back to their own authority. And I've already said earlier about chapter 10, verse 94, chapter 21, verse 7, which says, if you have any question, come back to the scripture. Why in the world would the Quran be telling them to come back to a corrupted book? Chapter 4, verse 136 says, O Muslims, go to those scriptures that God has given you, the Tawrat and the Injil, the Torah and the Gospels. So it's telling them to come back to our book. Chapter 5, verse 46 and 47, and verse 68, it says, O you Christians, go to those scriptures, the Tawrat, the Injil, that God has given you, and measure everything you meet by your own scriptures. Why in the world is the Quran telling us as Christians and Jews, to go back to a corrupted scripture? Chapter 29, verse 46, do not even argue with the Christians, for they have been given the scriptures. Ooh, I love that one. I use that at Speaker's Corner every Sunday. Now, in 40 years of working with Muslims, I've asked this question, can you show me one verse that says our Bible has been corrupted? In 40 years, they cannot come up with it. So obviously, up to the 7th century then, it was not corrupted when this book was read, because this book says nothing about it. Take a look at all the traditions, the hadith, the sayings of Muhammad, the tafsir, the commentaries on this book, the sirah, the biography of Muhammad, and the Tahriq, which would be the histories of mankind. Those are the 4 genres of the Islamic traditions, written in the 9th and 10th up into the 11th century, and see if you can find any reference in any of those traditions about a corruption of our scriptures. Absolutely not. So when did this argument come into place? It came into being in 1064 by a man named Ibn Hazm, who was the first one to actually read the Bible and realize that these books contradict each other on every major point, especially on the person of Jesus Christ. He is the one that introduced the idea of corruption. That's 400 years too late. Thank God we don't have to really defend this book. All we have to do is start with this book and show that this book does not allow them to say that. So yes, in the mosques is where it's being told, but they have no answer to that claim.